Let's get high.
Looks like I came up soon. I was watching the credits, and then boom, there I am. Welcome to another episode of the Big Monster Briefing Room. And on this particular show, we're rounding out our month of H.G. Wells. We're going to do the Time Machine with the Morlocks. The Morlocks are big monsters. Let me bring up my able-bodied assistant, Havoc. Where are you?
Right here, sir.
All right.
Reporting for duty.
So yeah, the Time Machine, the original Time Machine, the only Time Machine in my. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I like Guy Ritchie. I think he's a great actor. But that thing, God, why? And I know Winston did the creatures, but they look like cow faces. I didn't like them. I like this version much better, with Rod Taylor, the blonde-haired Morlocks, white-haired, yeah, creepy.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, let's get into our timeline. This is a Metro Goldwyn Mayer picture. I'm Jim. I don't think Rod Taylor did a lot before this, but this was like his kind of breakout role, I think. I could be wrong about that. And we have a very young Yvette Mimieux. Try to say that 5 times fast. And she was 17 when she made this thing, which kind of makes it a little creepy. The old guy, messing around with her outside by the fire. So we start out with all different types of time symbols floating around. The hourglass, and then Big Ben. And of course, that funnels us right into a British dinner. Four friends are waiting for their host to show up. The Time Machine, H.G. Wells. This is what's his name? George Powell, directing film.
George Powell. Yep.
Yeah.
He did a lot of. Yep. Yeah, he did a lot of these training films back in the 50s. When Worlds Collide, and this one, and a bunch of other ones.
Yeah, he likes sci-fi. He saw sci-fi as a way to make money.
Yep.
So this is the house of H. George Wells. And if you've ever seen pictures of H.G. Wells, you'll realize that Rod Taylor is a hell of a lot better looking than he is.
Yeah.
And that is Mrs. Watchett. That's her name, Mrs. Watchett. And she lets in the guy that has the horse down the street, Mr. Ed. That's Alan Young playing David Philby.
Oh, Wilbur.
Oh, Wilbur. I'm going to be a Morlock, Wilbur. And at the table we have Sebastian Cabot, Buffy Jody. We were talking about him before the show. The coolest thing he ever did was a Twilight Zone episode where he plays Pip, and he's all dressed in white and everything. And then it turns out at the end he's like the devil, which I thought was kind of creepy, but nice, interesting. And he was white-haired with white beard in that. We also have. He's playing excuse me. Oh, by God. Dr. Philip Hillier That's his name in this. And then the other guy played by Whit Bizzle. Whit Bizzle's been in just about everything. He was in a lot of 50s horror films. I Was a Teenage Werewolf. I Was Teenage Frankenstein. Done a lot of stuff. Done a lot of sci-fi and horror. Whit Bizzle was in The Creature from the Black Lagoon. Is one of the scientists. But what a name, Whit Bizzle. It sounds like something you sweep your floor with. I'm going to use my Whit Bizzle.
Yeah, I guess I was say sounds like a vacuum cleaner.
I'm going to use my Whit Bizzle. He's Walter Kemp, and then the last guy is Anthony Bridewell, who's pretty much a lush. He's like drunk throughout this thing. He's played by Tom Helmore, and they're drinking up George's whiskey. Philby's actually his best friend, and he's got an accent. He sounds like Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, he does.
George, when are you going back to time, George? So his son sounds like Alan Young. He doesn't have the accent. And the clocks all go off at 8 o'clock, and that's when Mrs. Watchett comes in and goes, "I'm sorry, he's late." And then H.G. Wells busts in, and he's all beat up and dirty, and he's been fighting Morlocks and shit. So he's looking rough. And they're like, "Oh my God, George, well, sit down, have some of your whiskey. We've been drinking it for an hour now, waiting for you." There's the reaction shots.
If we're all a little toasty, we'll believe anything you sell us now. Sounded like that Professor.
The whole film is a damn flashback.
Yep. I kind of sounded like that Professor Walnut there for a second.
I guess in this case, it's a flash future.
Yeah.
It's not a flashback, it's a flash future. It's a flashback of a flash future. Thank you very much. You say your name is Weena? Can I introduce you to my Weena? Sorry.
Oh, see, you should have saved that one from when we get to her. But okay.
I'll do it again, and it'll get another laugh. I'll just anyway. So yeah, he's looking rough. I mean, it's as rough as you can look as Rod Serling, or not Rod Serling, Rod Taylor.
Taylor, yep.
Rod Serling did look a little rough. He's got the caterpillar eyebrows.
Imagine if you will.
My eyebrows don't move. So there's a little box. He harkens back to when they met a week before at a dinner. And they said they were going to meet for New Year's Eve a week from then. But he wanted to show them something first. And what he showed them was a little miniature version of his time machine. He opens it up and puts it on the table, and it looks impressive. And this design for the time machine was very interesting. It was very, very, very interesting. That's the best word I can come up with for it. And the original one sat on a back lot for a while, deteriorating, and then it was bought by Bob Burns, who played the gorilla on the Ghostbusters on the Saturday mornings with Larry Storch and Forrest Tucker. He played the gorilla on that. But Bob Burns collects like sci-fi stuff and monster stuff. So he's like a Forrest J. Ackerman Jr. I don't know if you know who Forrest J. Ackerman was, but look him up. He was the guy that did Famous Monsters of Filmland magazine, and that guy, he knew everything about monster movies. So anyway, the large version of this, the man-sized version of this, they restored it, and Bob Burns had it for a long time until he auctioned it off, made a lot of money. It sold for millions.
One of my favorite Big Bang Theory episodes concerns the time machine.
The time machine.
Yep.
Doesn't Sheldon get it or something?
Sheldon. I don't know if he gets the original or if it's a copy, but yeah, he gets a hold, and it's in the living room, And, because he thinks, oh, it actually works, and he's going to go back in time and do all kinds of crazy stuff. But yeah, I don't know if, like I said, if it's original or if it was a replica, but it looks sharp. It looked nice.
Yeah, it was probably a copy, but yeah, again,
Yeah.
it's a neat design. It's a really neat design. So
Well,
George puts a little button, puts a little cigar in there as a man, flips the button, and off it goes. Whoop! And impressive trick. Oh, where'd it go? Up your sleeve? So they're skeptical still.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are real skeptics. And Philby is a little skeptical, but he's like, well, it's George,
Yeah, he's intrigued. He's like,
If this thing is what you say it is, you got to destroy it, George. So George doesn't get the reaction that he wants, so he decides, okay, I'm going to let you guys go now, and I'll see you next week. Yeah. I've got all the time in the world. So they go off in their carriage. He he reads the newspaper. He's disgusted with what's going on at that time, and decides he's going to take his time machine. But he can't just yet because Philby is still there. Philby hung tight. Mm-hmm. And again, he warns him, if you do have a time machine, don't use it. Philby's a smart guy. Mm-hmm. He says, if you do have it, destroy it, George. Don't use it. But George, you're going to use it. We know it. Be a short movie if you didn't.
Right.
So he takes a little note, leaves it for Mrs. Watchett, and says goodbye to David. And off he goes to his lab, which is really kind of the greenhouse out back. Mm-hmm. And that's where he's got his machine stored. And there it is with his big satellite dish on the back. You can get all the cable stations. And he's got a key that he can screw in, which is kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. Because again, this was before cars were made. I mean, the movie was in the 1960s, so the cars had been around for a while. But this machine was supposedly right before cars had come along. Mm-hmm. Everybody was driving around in horse carriages. So he does a little trick where he, grinds and takes his little key to the grinder and grinds a little bit, puts it back in, and he starts it up. And he's trying to see if he sees anything happen where he knows at the time. And sure enough, the watch in the time machine is a certain time, but the clock on the wall says another time. So we know he's moved a place in time. And then he starts to speed it up a little more, and he watches the candle. This was kind of, I mean, back in the 60s, this is pretty cool effects. Mm-hmm. Now we look at it, we kind of laugh, but I mean, back at that time, it was pretty cool effects. As a matter of fact, I think they got an Academy Award for special effects. And yeah, the sun and the moon going by the window overhead, and he's watching a mannequin in the Philby store across the street, and they keep changing the outfits on the mannequin, and you're watching the different styles, which is another interesting way to show time pass. So he moves forward, 1917. And the place is all boarded up, and he goes out, and motor cars are out there, and he kicks some of the boards over his house out of the way. And Philby has actually bought the property across the street that he used to live in out of his friendship, and he's left it the same. He hasn't changed anything about it. David Philby hadn't. But he sees who he thinks is Philby, and it's Philby's son, James, who has just come back from the war. And he tells George of the war. They call him George, even though it's Herbert George Wells. They call him George. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's astounded by what he's seeing, but decides to get back on his time machine and move forward a little further. So he goes to 44, and that, of course, is the Blitzkrieg in London. they're getting bombed regularly by Germans, and his house. There we have the people trying with the anti-aircraft gun to shoot down the Germans who are attacking.
Mhm.
And his house is destroyed by the explosions and stuff there. And obviously they rebuild something there. It's like a park. And it comes out 1965, I think is the next time he comes out. He's always watching buildings go up and stuff like that. And in 65, which is, of course, 5 years after this movie is made, he looks at the bikini, or he looks at some of the fashions. He's like, oh, that's a dress. He comments on it. But he gets out, and again, there's a park, and there's a little statue dedicated to him. He disappeared back in the 1899, just a week before the turn of the millennia. And everybody's running, and their sirens are going off, and it's the end of the world as we know it, 1965.
Mm-hmm.
That's when the bombs went off. But no, you see, George went back in time and changed everything. I guess that's what they wanted us to believe. Mm-hmm. So he walks across the street to Philby's, and James Philby comes out. Now he's an old man, even older than his father was when he knew George. And they're telling him, get in a bunker. Go to the bunker. The nuclear bombs are going to be going off. Actually, I think they say atomic bomb here. We don't like nuclear yet. So he's like, the bombs, the mushrooms are going to be going off. Oh my God, you're the guy. You're the guy I thought, but you haven't changed a bit. Yeah, yes, well, that's a very long story. Well, we don't have time. Go down into the shelter now. And again, interesting, multifaceted performance by Alan Young, playing three different ages.
Mm-hmm.
And he's playing the younger than himself. Then he's playing middle age, which is almost where he was at the time. And then the old man, who's dressed like he's about to go on Lost in Space. Oh, you felonious bucket of bolts, get down in the shed. Woo! So now the special effects, we start to see the toy cars. But again, back at that time, I guess it was, again, they got the Academy Award. I guess it was, good enough for back then. This season, we're going to be doing Forbidden Planet, which has some great special effects, too. I mean, that kind of set the bar high for sci-fi.
Oh, yeah.
Here we have some shots of volcanoes going off. And again, this was made on a really low budget, this film. But actually, it looks like $1 million. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
So again, they use some stock footage, of course, which is popular at the time, that they did that kind of thing. And yeah, you can see that's toy cars, being moved around by the liquid lava. He gets back into his time machine just in time, I guess. And the lava flows over it and then hardens. So he's like trapped in a mountain. It's very cold. And then the mountain, after many millennia, billions of years, the mountain breaks down. And so he can see the sun again. He feels the warmth of the sun again. And he goes ahead and he stops the machine, but he stops it too quickly. So it kind of spins around a couple of times and dumps him out. And he looks up, and there is a large, what's the date on that?
802701.
Wow. So quite a ways away.
The year 80,371. Yeah.
So, it's just like that much forward from like when the dinosaurs, were extinguished with us. It's like millions and millions of years ahead of the future. Long time. So he looks up and there's a like kind of like a pyramid kind of sphinx kind of thing there. A sphinx. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it stinks. Thank you, folks. We're here every Thursday, 7:00 Eastern. So he makes his machine, puts his machine back up right. And hopefully it didn't damage anything. And he really doesn't know what to do at this point. And then he gets worried that he's all by himself, that he's alone. There's all kinds of internal narration here going on with Rod Taylor. And he takes the key. That's what I love. There's nobody around. He's worrying that there's nobody there at all, but he takes the key.
Yeah, just in case. You always take the keys. Always take your keys.
There is a large sphinx there, so I'm taking his key. So he puts it in his pocket. Then he finds a kind of a Superdome there. Of course, the roof has been broken in. And he goes inside and he sees it's now there was fruit on the table, like vegetables and fruit are on the table. So that should have told him right there that there were people about. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. He's just neurotic, I guess. He gets worried. What if I'm the only one here? So he runs around and then he finds civilization as it is at that time. They're all dressed in very simple tunic style outfits. And they're just frolicking.
They're hippies. Yeah. Hippies.
This was before the hippie time, too. This was like 10 years before 8 years before the hippie time.
They predicted the future. They predicted the hippies.
There you go. So
like Woodstock over here.
Which is Yvette Mimieux. And she can't swim. And she's floating along the river there. And out of control, and the guys are just looking at her. They're not doing anything. So he goes, "What the hell's wrong with you people?" And he goes out there and he gets her, risking his own life, puts his coat around her, and she just kind of grabs his coat, walks off. It's like, well, wait a minute. So he goes back to the Superdome there and he sits on the steps, and she comes up and gives him his jacket back, and she introduces herself. Her name is Weena. Yeah. It's too obvious, folks. It's too obvious. My name is Rita, but of course you are. Named after your father, perhaps.
See, that's if Connery had been cast.
So, yeah, and again, I can see the future, or I can see the past. It would have been good with Connery. Connery would have been a good. I often wondered if this guy, Rod Taylor, had a shot at James Bond when Dr. No was casting. I never have seen anything written anywhere that he was even considered, and yet, 2 years before, he was big with this movie. Mm-hmm. So you would think they wanted Cary Grant for a while.
Yeah,
Cary Grant didn't want to do it, and ended up with Connery. So there's Weena and how you spell it. And the Eloy, she is an Eloy. And you gotta say to yourself, wait a minute, he's sitting on those dirty ass steps. There's so much dust on those steps you can write in it, and you just put your ass down on there. I just wanted to see him go to the, when they were going to eat, just big pile of dust on his ass, She's got a big pile of dust on her keister. Careful. Don't get too much dust on your Weena.
No. It's don't get too much dust on you, Weena.
Weena.
Oh man. Now I'm thinking about this Benny Hill gag that he did. At this girl, and she says, "So what is this thing called, love?" And the director comes out. It's like, no. It's what is this thing called love? I knew we should have gotten started rambling.
So she escorts him inside. He's grabbing his Weena. We're gonna get a lot of mileage out of this one, folks. And he's excited to be talking to the people of the future, and they're kind of, I don't know, they're kind of vacant.
It's
You
it's
ask a lot of
idiocracy.
questions. It's like they just don't really care much about anything. You ask a lot of questions. We have books. And that's how this ends. Is that they tell him that they have books, and he's like, "Oh, great! I can read up on your, your history and find out how you came to be, and find out more about your society." And they take him to where the books are, and
Now
it's like a
there's
shelf in somebody's house. That's it. That's all they got. What? No
now
classics?
there's some kind of a little bit disturbing about the Eloi. I mean, if you notice, they're all white and they're all blonde.
Yeah. Yeah, the Aryan race.
It's like, yep, the Aryan race eventually, but they're all dumb.
But they're
So
stupid. Yeah. Or vague. Vague was the word I was looking
vague,
for.
vague,
Yeah, they're
yeah,
all very
yeah.
vague. And kind of emotionless, Um
I kept wanting
so
for them to say, why aren't you wearing a dress like the rest of us? But no, nobody ever said that.
so the books are so old, again, zillions of years in the future, that they just crumble to dust in his hand. So he's very upset. They let the books deteriorate. I've got nothing to read. He doesn't say that, but that's the kind of storms out. And then he goes and he gives them a lecture. Goes back and, you people, yeah, I'm a dirty old man.
Well, at least he didn't break his glasses, so even if he had to.
So yeah, he goes, I'm going back to my time. I don't want to deal with you people. You people are useless. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. But he goes outside and finds out that somebody has dragged, and it's not the Eloi because they're stupid. Somebody has dragged his. I shouldn't say that. They need somebody to kind of show them the way. So in any case, no education, he finds out that something, and the footprints are kind of gross, have dragged his time machine into the Sphinx there. And he hears something cracking around in the branches in the woods there, and it's Weena. So now he's outside. It's a beautiful night out, and he's got his Weena. So he's telling her all about the past and how wonderful the past was. He'd love to take her back there and show her, and as he's talking, he's just rambling. And as he's talking, this really grotesque hand comes in and pulls Weena into the bushes. Something's grabbing the Weena.
And frankly,
I got a feeling the Morlock like to grab the Weena. So he, whatever it is, he gets it to run off, scares it off somehow. Maybe he picks up a branch and starts, basically the Morlocks are kind of like the bullies of school. I mean, if you stand up to them and you fight them a little bit, they're pussies. They're just real easy to knock down and beat up. So anyway, yeah, we got the fire burning, and you got Weena there, and oh man, I had such a crush on her when I was a kid and I first saw this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't realize she was 17 at the time. Found that out this week. I thought she was a little older than that, but anyway, she was 17. Yeah. So she takes him to a place which is an opening where you can go down to where the Morlocks are. This is the other faction of humankind. They went under the ground and stayed underground, and the Eloi are out there in the sun with their blonde hair, beach blanket bingo. And so she shows him that, and he's like, And then she mentions that there is history with they have history. It's not books, but it's something. And he goes, oh, I'm interested in that. So she takes him, and it's talking rings. And when he spins the rings, they kind of talk and tell the history of the Eloi and the Morlock and how they separated. And Morlocks went underground, Eloi stayed up top. And it's the voice of the guy from the Haunted Mansion, Paul Frees.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the future of mankind.
Yeah, Freeze did a lot of voices. It's like,
yeah, he does. Yeah, he's
like
Santa Claus in Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah.
That is the weirdest, wickedest sounding Santa Claus in the history of Santa Claus films, too.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to be nasty, nasty, nasty. Well, I don't think so. I'm Paul Frees, the Santa Claus. What? No more trick cards? No more gags? So anyway, that's the talking rings. And he realizes now, wow, what have I stumbled into here?
Mm-hmm. Even as a kid, when I saw this movie and I the whole talking rings thing, it's like, how does this work, first of all? But it seemed like really inefficient, where you have to spin this thing and
and if you don't spin it, if you spin it too fast, you sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Exactly. And
it's gonna too slow. When it slows down.
It's like Hal.
Yeah, hey, record players, hey, play backwards. Satan says he wants you to love him.
Exactly.
He didn't spin the rings backwards. Not that we know of. So he decides to go down to where the Eloi are. Because that's what he hasn't seen yet. Not realizing he's probably going to be, it's probably not going to be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Weena keeps telling him, like, no, you don't want to go down there.
You don't go down there. Nobody comes back.
Right.
Nobody comes back from there. I want you to come back. I don't know why.
And I think
she's so naive.
Yeah, I think she's the only one that has a dress that's color. I think everybody else wears white. She's
no, there's different.
Are there other people?
Yeah, there's different. Okay. There's one point where he goes after her. It's right after here, actually, and he finds another person with a pink tunic, and he turns around. It's not her.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
But there's orange. There's like kind of a tan khaki,
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah.
So no camouflage though. It's all plains, no plaids. It's just plain. Yeah, there you go. Strung together. So these things, these stalagmites, right? Come up out of the come up out of the Sphinx there, and there is a kind of air raid siren, and that's a kind of a hypnotic thing for the Eloi. They all just kind of zone and start heading for the pyramid. So they've been trained from birth to come to the Morlock Temple, I guess it is, the Sphinx. I've been calling it, and he sees her go away. He's like, "Hey, where are you going? Hey, I'm coming back. Don't worry." So I don't know why he sounded like a South Park character there for a second, but so he goes after her. Yeah, she's in a daze. Must go to a temple. And and this is a creepy scene where they all come out and they're all walking down the steps very steadily at the same pace.
Yeah,
it's very creepy, very effective creepiness. They're all coming down the steps all at the same pace, same time. They're all walking in a daze towards the Morlock temple.
Mm-hmm. And I see. Okay, yeah, they're different colors. So
yeah, you got lighter pinks and and some green and light greens. And he's looking around and he's seeing that everybody's like walking in a daze, and he's like, well, wait a minute, you were kind of in a daze before, but wow, even more so now. And he's looking for Weena. He doesn't want Weena, and that's when he turns around the other girl in the pink outfit, little lighter pink. Mm-hmm. And Weena has already made it to the temple. She goes in just before the door closes. And the two guys that were at the table with her ironically, who were having the wonderful conversation with H. George Wells, they are in there. You ask many questions. So he's banging on the door and he can't get it open. And he's like, "Hey, what's wrong with you people? Why are you going away? We got to open this up. We got to get these people out. They're your friends, right?" They don't care. Like, nah, what? Why? We're going to go back and eat. Food's brought for us. So life is very easy being Eloy, but at what price?
Mm-hmm.
Soylent Green is made from Eloy people. Look at that face, man. He is angry. He's really pissed.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, I'm gonna go back down there. I'm gonna find her. So he goes back down to the opening where he's left his coat. And when he gets to the bottom, he finds a stick and he's able to make it into kind of a torch. He wraps a piece of cloth around it. Finds a little gas can there, pours some gas on it. No, I'm kidding. That's the future. There would be no gas. So the Eloy people, a couple of them follow him, and they're looking down there. And this is the last thing Timmy saw when he fell down the well. Mm-hmm. If you look over to the right, you'll see Lassie. Go get mom and dad, Lassie. So here's a nice creepy scene where he is like checking out what's underground in the Eloy quote area. And they've got some ominous music playing. And we get little touches of Eloy scampering around behind him. So you just barely see them. And then there's a hand comes up and tries to grab his shoulder, and then it pulls free. So nice creepiness. Oh, and he finds out what's happened to the Eloy. He finds the feeding room, the dining room.
Their lunch.
Yeah. So the Eloy are the food for the Morlocks, basically. Morlocks feed on them. That's how they live. That's how they survive. Mm-hmm. There's where the hand comes up. I want to say John Chambers did the creatures for this. He also did Planet of the Apes and a lot of other stuff back in the 50s and 60s, 70s. And then we finally get to see the Morlocks. I always thought this would make a great musical. I think we talked about this before on the show. One day I said to myself, why, they're doing Phantom of the Opera as a musical. Why not do The Time Machine as a musical? And we can have a great musical number of the Morlocks. We are the Morlocks, Morlocks, Morlocks. We are the Morlocks, Morlocks, Morlocks. I don't know. That came into my head at the time. Nice little dance number like this, where they're corralling the Eloy. That could be the song's title, the Corralling the Eloy. So he grabs Weena. He sees her. She's the only one in pink down below now. So he grabs her and he pulls her over to the side. And the one guy that's at the table, "Hey, I'm going with you." He follows after him. He's smart enough to figure out that that's the right way to go. But he's a little slow. He's a little slow on the uptake. Just like this next scene where the Eloy the Morlocks are attacking H. George Wells. They attack him, and he's doing his best to fend them off, but there's a lot of them, and they have whips, some of them. So that's how they corral. So you got a Bruce Lee moment here where he's got like 6 of them surrounding him, and they're heinous. I mean, they're ugly. They got big fangs and glowing eyes, and so he kind of gets pushed with the other Eloy into the feeding room, one of the feeding rooms. There's a little curtain, like a croaker sack curtain, nailed up there. And we see the Eloy, I keep saying Eloy, the Morlocks, and their glowing eyes, which is really creepy. In the dark, you see their eyes glowing, like wild animals. And again, this is mankind. Mankind has evolved into this, You know, you got the beautiful people upstairs, and then you got, you know, the Eloy nerds, the cannibals down below. So George lights one of his matches, and yeah, they don't like that. They're down in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't like light. They don't like fire. Fire bad. Look at these guys. And they are fat. They are fat on Eloy. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
They need an Eloy free diet.
But somewhere along the way, humanity, everybody was just blonde. The Eloy are blonde. The Morlocks
the Eloy are
blonde.
white hair because there's no pigmentation. So their skin is blue for some reason. So they look like the Smurfs. But yeah, white hair and white eyes. Put that out now. Stop it. And gnarly ass teeth, fangs. So they're basically ghouls underground. They're ghouls. And he keeps burning his fingers. Damn it. Where's that torch? Where's that torch I had? He snagged it away from him because he's only got like one match left. So he relights the torch and he starts to fight again. And this time, because he's got fire on his side, yeah, he does better. And yeah, he's got some, you know, some serious TV superstar action moves there. Exactly. I've seen that move on like Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea and Batman, and spin around a pole, boom, kick him. And they keep trying to jump on him from like higher ledges, and he just steps out of the way. Basically, they don't learn from that move. So one of them finally gets his hands around his neck, and the guy that was at the table with him, the Eloy guy that was at the table with him, I'm guessing because it says it's the first Eloy, that's Bob Baran, the actor. There's three guys listed here. Mike Hittelner, Hitlner, Hittelner, and Eloy man James Skelly. We're just going to call you Eloy man. And there was one Eloy girl. That's probably the one he spun around. That's Josephine Powell. So that's the extent of IMDb. There's a nice shot of the. That's the Morlock up close and personal. Mm-hmm. So he's strangling him, and that guy at the table, he's seen him fighting, so you can see him wrestling with the fact in his mind: should I hit him? Should I clonk him? And yeah, he takes both of his hands and clonks him on the back. Mm-hmm. And this guy, this Eloy, freaks out, swings back, hits his head on a rock, and it kills him. Like that. Like him bleeding all over himself. Easy to kill. They're easy to kill. They're soft. Them Morlocks. Soft Morlocks. They've been fattening themselves up on Eloy and Weena. They eat a lot of Weena. Sorry. I had to go back.
Of course.
We hadn't done one in a while. Those naughty Morlocks. So here we have a nice effect of a guy in a Morlock suit on fire. Boy, you got a good paycheck that day, I bet. Mm-hmm. Nice little asbestos suit. The burning Morlock. So yeah, now the place is catching fire. You know, you've got those croaker sack curtains and stuff. Everything's starting to catch fire, and the machines are starting to blow up. And it's like he's James Bond before James Bond even was James Bond. You know, 1960. Bond didn't come around until 63. So he's destroying the evil complex, the evil lair, before James Bond even had a glimmering of doing that. So I like this moment too. They come out, and the smoke is coming out from the opening there, and they shake hands. Hey. Now you're doing what I want you to do. Now you're playing the game. So he's like, grab all the wood you can. Let's throw it down the hole. Let's catch this place on fire. Make sure it burns up. And they do. And the thing goes up like a Roman candle. It goes up like a trailer park. They all start blowing up. And again, very low budget effects there, but it's effective enough for 1960. And they're watching from the sidelines, they're watching everything blow up, and the whole thing caves in too. So that is the end of that corner of the Morlocks. Again, it's a big world. There's probably a lot more Morlock communities underground. That's my guess. This is not the only neighborhood. That's my guess. So yeah. So now George goes back to what's important, his Weena. And she's smiling now. Ooh, look at her smiling. She likes George. And George is telling her about the past and telling her about the girls, and the hair is always up. And she goes, up? What do you mean, up? And he goes, here, let me show you. Let me show you my up Weena. And just before he kisses the 17-year-old, the other Eloy guys walk up and go, hey, your thing. That thing you have. It's in the open. It's open. And you can see that the temple is crumbling. It's burning up. But the door to where his time machine is open. So he goes in, and we find out it's a trap. He gets locked in. And Weena is very upset because she lost her man. And he is very upset because now he can't touch his Weena. And now he's surrounded by Morlocks again. He's just taken the key out of his pocket, too. I still got the key. The key.
Is that a key in your pocket?
What's that?
Is that a key in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Is that a key in your pocket, or is that a Weena?
Oh, wait, I'm Weena. Never mind.
No, there's Weena. She's banging on the door. Weena's banging on the door. They even spell it, folks, like when we say Weena. So yeah, one of the Morlocks gets a little too close. He clocks it, punches it. Again, classic Morlock. I'm gonna bang my head against the wall and it's gonna kill me. And it kills him. And again, he's got like 3 chins there. He's so fat. So it might have been like an Elvis thing, where he couldn't breathe. I don't know. I don't know if the Morlocks were on Quaaludes and other narcotics or not. But anyway, I probably shouldn't have said that. But hey, it's documented. It's documented. So he cranks the machine forward to stop more Morlocks from attacking him. And they have this delicious, wonderful scene of the Morlock deteriorating and aging, the body decomposing there, and the head falls down on the ground, and it's delightful. And then he goes, wait a minute, I'm going the wrong way. I got to go back. So he cranks the machine back, and he realized I got to go back all the way to my friend's party. I missed the party. So he goes back in time to the party. And we see the lava back up, and then we see, the wars and stuff, and then we see his yard come back, and remember, they have moved his machine, so now he's not in the lab anymore. He's outside in the yard. So he gets out of the machine. He's in the yard outside. Luckily, he didn't, land on the fence. And he breaks the glass door to the garden area there, the back shop, I guess. It's glassed around the back, so it looks like it's a what do you call those?
You said it was like a greenhouse.
Greenhouse. It looks like a greenhouse, but it's not. It's his lab. It's his workshop. So that's when he comes in, and this is where we come back to the present time, and all of them are like, "Well, that's quite a story, George. Thanks for the cigars and thanks for the smokes and the booze. We're gonna go now. It's the holiday. We're gonna go find another party." So George's like, I spent all that time telling you this story, and you still don't believe me? And then he pulls a flower out of his pocket that he pocketed earlier. It's a flower I think that Weena gave him. Mm-hmm. And he gives it to Philby. And he says, I bet you've never seen anything like this. You're into plants and whatever you call it.
Botany.
Plant, whatever. And he goes, I bet you've never seen anything like this. And he goes, no, I haven't said, I got to say, I've never seen anything like it, George. So they all say their goodbyes. And that's what he says to Philby when Philby leaves. He goes, goodbye. And you got it's a very final tone to it, you know. So he even does a double take when he hears it. It's like, oh, it means you're not coming back? So yeah, he's going to go to the future and help mankind in the future recreate itself. And that's where he says goodbye. And he realizes, oh, wait a minute, I might not see you again. Now, I will tell you, there is a short that's out, and you can find it online, where Rod Taylor and Alan Young come back as these characters again. They're older. And they talk to each other, you know, about the time machine and all that, and about the Eloi and the Morlocks and all that stuff. It's interesting. It's a cute little short. It's the sequel to this movie. So it's kind of nice to see them together again and talking about this stuff. So he goes back and he goes to the carriage and he says, you know, gentlemen, you go on without me. I think I want to talk to him some more because I've never seen anything like this. I don't know why you don't believe me because I've never seen anything like this flower ever. And he goes back. And when he gets in the door, he hears the time machine go off. Oh, by the way, when he's going back to the door, we see George dragging the time machine back into where the shop is. And that makes sense because, you know, if he went back if he goes in the future and he's still outside, he's going to be in the Morlock Temple again still. So, again, Philby hears the, you know, what he hears when the little time machine went off, except much bigger. And he runs into the lab and there's nobody there. And Mrs. Watchit, she's out there too. She comes out and he sees, Philby sees that George dragged the machine back into the lab. And he explains that to Mrs. Watchit. He goes, he dragged it back from the outside into here. So when he appears in the future, Weena will be waiting for him, you know, with open arms. And he can touch his Weena again. So there it is. So he goes, all right, let's go. This is party time. I got to get out. It's New Year's. So he walks out there and he goes, I wondered if he took anything with him. And she goes, well, yeah, he took 3 books from the bookshelf. And the last line that he says is, which 3 books would you have taken? There it is right there. Cocky little son of a bitch. Which 3 books would you have taken? You want to go out with me and have some booze and then we can shag. I've got a son to have. He would have been 17 during the war. It would have been about the time. It was Mrs. Watchit's kid. That just came to me just now. So he puts on his muffler and off he goes. And the last thing we see is Mrs. Watchit closing the door and turning the lights off. And that's it. The time machine. The end. MGM. Now, this is the first time we didn't go 15 minutes overtime, folks. First time in a long time. Actually, our first episode, we only did like 25 minutes. That was Day of the Triffids.
Day of the Triffids, yeah.
That's the shortest episode of Big Monster Briefing we ever had. It's like 25 minutes. I don't even think it was 25 minutes. I often said to myself, we should re-record that and do a full hour show for that. So there it is. Next time, I'm not sure what we're doing. I can't remember because next week, of course, is Thanksgiving, so we're taking a week off. And when we come back, I think it's going to be in December, right? So we're going to start doing the December shtick. We are going to do Krampus eventually, and we're also going to do the Star Wars Christmas special. It's got monsters in it, which should be a lot of fun. And I'm going to reach out to some people who are involved in that, makeup people, and one of the writers is still alive, named Pat Proft. And I'm hoping to get him to come on board and have fun with us with that because he's a lot of fun. And we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I'm not sure what the first holiday movie is. I can't remember in my mind what the first holiday movie is. Oh, wait a minute. Give me 1 second here.
All righty.
I'll pull it up. By gosh, I've got the list, I think. Ha! Don't know. Two guys. Big Monster Big Room. There it is. All right. So in season 7, Mask of the Red Death. It's a party.
Oh,
Vincent Price, Mask of the Red Death, big party movie. Very, very festive. Red Death. So we'll have fun with that one. Then Krampus, then Star Wars Christmas Special. And then when we come back next year for January, it's going to be Island movies. Island of Terror, Island of Dr. Moreau, The Killer Shrews, and Kong Skull Island. So that'll be a fun January. So until then, keep an eye out for those big monsters.
This here's Master Sgt. Havoc. Thank you for watching this episode of the Big Monster Briefing Room. Now, why don't you go ahead and give us a like and subscribe to our channel and ring that notification bell next time a big old giant monster comes calling. See y'all later.